Battle Fever J with Kizuna 5 versus the White Pumpkin. The story begins back in 1979, where the father of a very wealthy family named Haro Bubba, who spends most of his time gambling instead of running the family company or supporting his family as a result of him losing everything, even his marriage, which drove him into a break of insanity where the secret society known as Egos decided to offer him a chance to gain back everything that he lost if he agrees to be experimented on as subject. White Pumpkin to hunt down those who have brought him so much pain, so Haro agrees to their terms as he was turned into a murderous monster known as the White Pumpkin to hunt down and kill the people who are responsible for his misfortune until he was encountered by the Battle Fever team as a result to finally put an end to his evil schemes, but didn't realize that Egos has taken Haro's daughter, Cassie, under their care as they injected her with the same serum that they used on Haro to allow her to gain the same abilities as her father, and was told that humanity and the Battle Fever team were responsible for her father's demise. In the present day at the abandoned secret hideout of Egos, Professor betrays along with Manstrangement, Obsesstruction, and Defectator found a stasis pod buried in the rubble as it reveals to be Cassie Bubba, who is still in her teens in a deep coma for many years after Egos were defeated. So now the Zetsuenders decided to open the stasis pod to release Cassie as she wakes up from her eternal slumber and remembers what Egos said about what humanity did to her father. A few days later at the Kizuna Five secret base, Togo and his friends, Nagare, Emily, Shuji, and Tsukasa, are getting dressed up for Halloween as they are ready to go to the Halloween party that is happening in the streets of Japan. Togo dressed up as Akarenger from Himitsu Sentai Gozyuger, Nagare dressed up as Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Emily dressed up as Wonder Woman from DC, Shuji dressed up as Kamen Rider Ichigo, but only wearing a mask, and Tsukasa dressed up as Spider-Gwen from Marvel. Just then, Professor Pythagoras along with Oinkbrella warns the Kizuna Five about a mysterious white figure hunting down several people around Japan and killing them to obtain their wealth and loot, which made Togo and his friends concerned about the situation at hand since they believe that this is something out of a horror movie. But before the Kizuna Five were about to investigate these countless murders, the lights went off for 10 seconds and turned back on again. But Togo and his friends were shocked to see Professor Pythagoras and Oinkbrella were both dead on the ground as all of the screens play at once to see that the White Pumpkin has returned for revenge and tells the Kizuna Five to stay out of their way or they will continue to kill off all of humanity just like they did to the Professor and Oinkbrella. So now Togo and his friends became furious that the White Pumpkin killed their friends without any hesitation as they inserted their bond plates into their Kizuna braces to transform into the Kizuna Five to head out to search for the White Pumpkin. In the streets of Japan, the Kizuna Five team are struggling to figure out where the White Pumpkin is hiding since they have already murdered 700 people until they witness a horde of Ingekons attacking the people during their trick-or-treating time as a distraction for the Kizuna Five to make sure they won't stop the White Pumpkin scheme. So now the Kizuna Five have no choice but to save the people from the Ingekons until they were given some help from the Battle Fever team. Battle Japan, Masauten. Battle Cossack, Makoto Jin, Battle France, Kyosuke, Battle Kenya, Shiro Akibono, and Miss America, Maria Nagiza, who arrived at the scene once they heard about the White Pumpkin's return as they join forces with the Kizuna Five to take down the Ingekons. Meanwhile at the Battle Shark, the Battle Fever team explains to Togo and his friends about the White Pumpkin's origin story as they tell them that the White Pumpkin was once a man named Haro Bubba who lost his family and fortune due to his own greed, which drove him to be turned into the White Pumpkin by Egos to help him get his revenge. But then the Battle Fever team tells Togo and his friends that Egos have taken custody of Haro's daughter, Cassie, after his death as she was in a stasis pod for the rest of her life since Egos can't risk her existence to be brought out to the world. As Togo and his friends help the Battle Fever team look through the data files of all of the White Pumpkin's victims, They seem to be all connected to the people who used to work with Haru's old family company before it went bankrupt, as they figure out that the White Pumpkin's next target is at Hando Manor, where they were about to murder the most wealthiest man in existence. Outside of Hando Manor, the White Pumpkin walks towards the front door to put an end to Chihando's life until the Kizuna Five and the Battle Fever team showed up just in time to prevent the White Pumpkin from killing another businessman, as they revealed their identity as Cassie Bubba, Haru's daughter, as she tells both the Kizuna Five and the Battle Fever team that she blames humanity and all of the rich people for her father's demise and wants to kill every single person who looked down on him, as she takes on the mantle of the White Pumpkin. So now the Kizuna Five and the Battle Fever team worked together to put an end to the White Pumpkin's scheme, as they battled through a group of Ingekons: Togo with Misao, Nagare with Kyosuke, Emily with Makoto, Shuji with Shiro, and Tsukasa with Maria. As the Battle Fever team and the Kizuna Five have defeated the Ingekons, but were struggling to take down the White Pumpkin due to her powerful strength. She was shot by Chihando, Boon Red, who gives Battle Japan an updated version of the Battle Caesar to call upon the Feverizer armor as he transforms into Feverish Battle Japan to help his team and the Kizuna Five weaken the White Pumpkin, as he activates his chest cannon to perform the Feverish bomber to defeat her. But then Cassie used the White Pumpkin's true power as she fused her body with the mask to actually mutate into a gigantic monster to crush the Battle Fever team and the Kizuna Five. So now the Kizuna Five summons their Kizuna beasts to transform into the maximum Kizuna Kaiser, while the Battle Fever team summon their new giant robots known as Battle Machines: Japan Battler, Cossack Battler, France Battler, Kenya Battler, and America Battler, to combine together to form the Feverish Battle Caesar to assist the Kizuna Five to battle against the White Pumpkin, as Togo and Misao refused to kill Cassie since they knew that she's been suffering due to the loss of her father, but knows that she has accepted her fate and they have no choice but to destroy her. The Battle Fever team summons the Feverish Battle Caesar's lightning sword to perform the Feverish Battle Slash to weaken her a bit, as the Kizuna Five performs the maximum Kizuna Blaster to finally defeat the White Pumpkin for good, as Cassie is reunited with her father in the afterlife as she finally gets to be with him forever. Meanwhile, at the Halloween party, Togo and his friends along with the Battle Fever team are enjoying their Halloween night after they found out that Professor Pythagoras and Oinkbrella faked their deaths to fool the White Pumpkin and called the Battle Fever team to assist them. But Togo feels bad for Cassie for losing her father to egos, since it reminds him of the day that he lost his parents. But Misao tells Togo that he understands what he's feeling since he feels the same way as well, and tells him to enjoy the party since they knew that Cassie will live a happier life with her father without any doubts.